Good evening. 6 p.m., September 11th, and I'd like to open the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for this evening. I'd like to have a moment of silence for September 11th, those people that were lost. Very sad situation, so moment of silence, please. Okay, I'd like to announce that this meeting is being televised live on local channel 8. And if we could all rise and please say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, next, does anyone have a public comment regarding anything not related to any agenda items tonight? If so, please check in with Mary Ann, two over to my left, and you can have 3 minutes to make your comment. Anybody have anything not on the agenda they'd like to talk about? Okay, thank you. Okay, in reference to public comment, after every, and there's only one, well, there's actually 2 things on the agenda, so after the 2 things on the agenda, if in fact we do not go to the public, please remind us, because we do want to get public comment. So my anticipation, I will be handling the first hearing, and I presume Sharon will be handling the second one, because I would be in conflict. We will ask for public comments at the end. Tonight's sitting on the first hearing will be the 4 regular members, along with Mike, who was part of the last public hearing in reference to this application. Having said that, Charlie, would you please read the first continued hearing?
Thank you. I will.
Thank you.
September 11th, 2024, Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. Continued hearings for 54 Kim Path. Owners John J. and Christine S. Mizzi request a special permit under 174-17.1 and 174-33 of the zoning bylaws to raise and replace a pre-existing non-conforming single-family structure on property located in the R3 and Papaneset overlay districts, map 117, parcel 96, Mashpee, Mass., continued from August 28th, 2024, hearing at the request of the attorneys. Here you go, Mike.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Attorney Christopher Corain, representing the applicant. With me tonight is Tom Bunker with BSS Design, and also with me is Mike Borselli from Falmouth Engineering. And the reason Mike is here is that Jeff Ryther is the registered, or the land, and the professional engineer for this project. Unfortunately, Jeff has medical issues that prevent him from being here tonight, but Mike has peer-reviewed the drainage calculations and the plan, and is more than comfortable to answer any questions this board may have with respect to that. As far as the last meeting, as the board is aware, there was a couple of the members brought up a concern because we have a mounted system and breakout wall to the rear of the property, that there was a concern that storm water that came from off-site, instead of being captured in the what's now lawn area, would hit this wall and flow downstream to other lots and create flooding issues for other lots. There was some discussion about topography. Can we look at that to say that it's not an issue? But instead, our design team decided to take a different tact and actually add additional drainage and stormwater capacity. So what we've done on this particular plan that you have in front of you is we have added six new catch basins, which are shown here in the back, and we've also added an additional 125-gallon leach chamber. So where originally we had 2, now we have 3, and now we have 6 catch basins in the rear of the property that will capture any stormwater that would be coming on site that would normally just flow into the lawn area, what's now lawn area, that could be shedded by the wall will now be captured by this drainage. So we feel that we've been proactive in addressing the board's concern about stormwater management by not only keeping it all on site, but now capturing off-site stormwater and keeping it on site so as to prevent it from shedding as a result of the wall. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions. As I said, Tom and Mike are here as well. But again, I think I'm hoping that we've addressed the board's concern of how to handle off-site stormwater that comes on-site, given the system, the mounted system.
So, Mary Ann, do we have any new letters from agencies that would have to be read in the record? Nothing? Okay. Board questions?
And we already read into the record the Board of Health and the Conservation last hearing.
Yes. We did. Yeah.
I have nothing.
Nothing.
As one member, I can tell,
I have nothing.
That's nothing.
Mike?
I mean, I appreciate the effort. I'm just curious, and I'm asking you as well, the study that we had suggested,
They
is that
did.
going to be much more difficult to?
Well, I don't
They
think.
actually did the study.
Yeah, it wouldn't have revealed the results that I think we were looking for. We were thinking that topography was sloping away, as opposed, which would say, well, we don't have a problem, potential problem. But Tom has done some site work, and adjacent property suggested that the topo does go more towards our property. So that's another reason why adding the additional drainage features.
Yeah, I can say that for this job, we had located the house at Nick Trail, and on a previous job, we had actually also did some survey on the house on the north side of Nick Trail, and those are all at slightly higher elevations. And so I think best just to put this safeguard measure in.
I can say this to you, Mike. I looked at the drainage study. I looked at your increase in Q, which is quantity. I'm impressed with that. There are always questions you can have in drainage studies, but I think the process worked well. I think they have addressed the concern, certainly that I had. And I can tell you, I looked at it pretty darn closely. Again, drainage studies can be shaped and molded in a million different ways, but as far as I'm concerned, they've done a good job.
Yeah.
I think the process
Given the
worked.
fact we had a bunch of people here that were already satisfied before this.
Yeah.
These.
Well, he's added additional drainage.
I know.
And so what he did is, Kramer, he did a study.
Right.
He included additional areas because he felt that area is flowing towards us, I'll say. And he added drainage due to that study. So I think our
mean,
process worked
I know that, and
100%.
I agree with it, but these guys were happy last week before.
Well, that's-
He did
it's
any
okay.
of that stuff, but
It's okay.
I'm happy.
Right, thank you.
I'm happy. I think the process worked well. And from me, if there were to be problems out there, I could stand up and say, listen, I've done what I can as a novice. I'm not an engineer. We requested an engineer to go this next step. He did. He did some research. And as far as I'm concerned, we did the right thing.
Can I ask a question? As I understand it, what you did is you did the study that we hoped that you would do to look at the situation as it existed. And am I correct that what that study revealed is that something more than what is there should be done?
Yeah, I
What
think
we
that's
had-
fair.
Yeah, I mean, the first time we looked at what was on
Yeah.
the site, only what was on the site, but there was this watershed for as Mr. Bonvie had pointed out, it does slope toward there, and I mean, we've taken water that, in many drainage studies and larger ones, you're not only supposed to not increase the flow
Yeah.
off the property, which we're not doing on the original design, but now we're taking in the flow and holding coming from other
That
sites
you were taking in
also.
before, so you're dealing with flow coming onto the site.
And I'm not critical at all
No,
of
no,
what
I'm
you've
just-
done, but the fact of the matter is, does that, at least in your mind, mean that situations such as this, now I know one thing is never like another thing, but it is always best to go the mathematic route with the study before you rely upon a general, I think this will work on the plan?
Yeah, so we always do, looking at the roof areas and things like
Yeah.
that, and the pavement on the ground and all those, and at the monkey and the wrench, or the monkey or whatever, was because, and I hadn't anticipated that of course this wall goes across the entire width of
And
the
again,
lot.
I'm not critical, but, I was impressed by the fact that your engineering opinion, as of the last time, was that it was not likely that anything bad would happen.
Right.
Now, that means looking forward for us in the future, we need more than just an engineering opinion that it's not likely. Maybe we require
Which we
mathematical.
suggested in the last meeting.
No, that's, And I agree.
I think the process worked well.
I think it did too.
But I would like
Yeah.
to make one last statement, then I think we should move on. I'm prepared to move on. The board needs to understand that when you do a 25-year drainage study, and there were statements made, we want to keep this water on the lot. Understand, and I'm going to be very critical, that means that there's a possibility, not probability, there's a possibility, at a 26-year storm, the water will leave the lot.
Yeah.
So understand that he's not saying, if he does a 25-year drainage study and says to this board and anyone else, the water's staying on this lot, and you have a 26-year storm, then all bets are off. It no longer stays in the lot, possibly.
Yeah.
Okay, so that being said, let's keep moving. Letters from abutters, we've already done that, right?
Right.
Mr. Morris, do you have any input? No, I'm good. Audience, anyone in the audience? Feel free if you'd like to speak.
Good evening, everyone. I have the house directly behind the Mizzies, and I have sent you a letter saying that we don't have any problem. We haven't had any problems, and I'll be honest, we work very closely with them. We're friends. So if we do have any problems, I'm sure we'll be able to resolve them.
Excuse me? Yeah, name and address, please.
Oh, Karen Jalkett, 75 Nick Trail.
Thank you, and thank you for your input. Anyone else in the audience have anything to say? Name and address, please.
Jennifer Manganello, 56 Kim Path. We are the direct neighbors to the Mizzies, and I sent a letter, my husband and myself. We have, again, like Karen, we have a we're very good friends with the Mizzies. If there was ever any type of issue that happened because of new construction, I know we could easily come to some sort of agreement and have it fixed. They're lovely people and have been very open and accommodating with their plans.
Well, thank you, and I wish all neighbors were like this.
Thank
It would make it much easier for this board, but thank you for your input. Anyone else in the audience? Okay. All right, any other board questions? Motion to close the public hearing, please.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Do we have to read into the record the new plan?
It's on the motion sheet.
Okay? Yeah. Like to have a motion in reference to the application, please, Charlie?
Got it. Make a motion relative to 54 Kim Path. Owners John J. and Christine S. Mizzi request a special permit under 174-17.1 and 174-33 of the zoning bylaws to raise and replace a pre-existing non-conforming single-family structure on property located in the R3 and Papaneset overlay districts, map 117, parcel 96, Mashpee, Mass., with the following conditions. Motion. Number one, the board has determined that the applicant meets all the conditions of a special permit under Mass General Laws 40A, Section 9. Number two, plot plan. Proposed house, 54 Kim Path, Mashpee, Mass., prepared for John and Christine Mizzi, scale 1 inch equals 20 feet, date June 25, 2024, drawn by EJP RAR, job number 22117, prepared by BSS Design, stamped and signed by Thomas Jackson Bunker, number 32653. Revised August 20th, 2024, changed dry wells to leaching chambers, added perimeter drain pipe. Revised September 5, 2024, added drainage inlet grates along north property line and 1 leaching chamber. Number 3, building plans prepared for Mizzi Residence, 54 Kim Path, job number 2309, date June 27, 2024, A2, first floor plan, A3, second floor plan, A4, elevations prepared by Architect Associates. Number 4, drainage calculations dated September 5, 2024 for 54 Kim Path, Mashpee, Mass., prepared by BSS Design. Number 5, conditioned on all town department comments read into the record, including but not limited to the Board of Health and Conservation Department. Number 6, Any changes to the plans will require the applicant to return to this board. Number 7, condition that the applicant seek and obtain review with the building department in reference to the tree bylaw, Chapter 175 of the Town General Bylaws prior to the application of a building permit. Number 8, the board finds under 174-17.1 and 174-33 that the proposed structure is not substantially more detrimental than the pre-existing non-conforming structure or use to either the town or the neighborhood, that there is sufficient parking, and there are no new nonconformities being created.
I have a question, if I may. Mr. Bunker, these drainage calcs, did you amend them after this, the 5th, or is this, I just want to make sure that these calculations get into the record. Where you make your note at the bottom in reference to, under current condition, combined runoff from 75 Nick, did you add that after the 5th?
This was done, no, this was done on the 5th.
So your second page that makes reference to your amended Q is the 5th?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you, sir. All those, second? All those in favor? Aye. Thank you for your
Great,
help.
thank you so much, I appreciate it. Have a good night, everybody.
Yep.
Home early.
My wife will be happy.
All right, so the next, I'm sorry. Yeah.
You know, it's funny, I've always been on, if an engineer has an opinion that something is not likely to go,
But doesn't the study make more sense? Shouldn't it be required?
I don't know. That's the issue, I think, isn't
I
it?
think it depends on the area and what's going
Yeah.
on.
I don't know, it just seems to make common sense to me that, like, they
Mike?
have information.
Oh,
So,
Oh, well.
you stamp this?
Yeah, she stamped them. Right there.
Hey,
Better trade in those glasses for new ones.
I should.
but basically I stand corrected.
She sneaks in the stamp in different locations.
I stand corrected on the issue of the study.
Okay, so that being said, I will be stepping down, and Sharon will be acting chair, and I'm gonna be leaving.
See you later. I might
Coming
be in
back,
touch.
right?
No, why do I have to come back?
He doesn't need to.
Because we got the public hearing schedule in the meeting minutes.
You
We
can
can all
handle
vote on that.
You're very good at being chair, okay?
Take care, Ron.
All right.
Give me a call.
Yes, her vacation needs to be managed.
No. So you're all set, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Ron.
You're welcome. Enjoy your night.
The board is now high and dry, right?
Charlie, would you like to read in the first other business for tonight? Yes.
All right, other business. Again, September 11th, 2024, Zoning Board of Appeals of Mashpee. Mashpee Commons, in accordance with Section 4, Decisions and Conditions of the Comprehensive Permit, Conditions number 5 and number 34, the attached approval not required plan prepared by BSS Design dated September 11th, 2023, and endorsed by the Planning Board on October 18th, 2023, addresses each respective condition and is hereby provided for the Board to review for consistency and compliance with the terms of the comprehensive permit. Vote required.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Tom Ferranti. I am here on behalf of Mashpee Commons Limited Partnership, Job's Whitings Trust, and JWT Venture 1B through 1D LLC. Here tonight as a little bit of a housekeeping measure, specifically related to, as stated, conditions 5 and 34 of our comprehensive permit. Condition 5 requires that we come back to the board for any subdivision of land that was part of the original acreage associated with the comprehensive permit. And condition 34 deals with correcting some boundary conflicts that were in the plan originally between the Mashpee Commons land and the 40B land. The plan prepared by BSS, which has been endorsed by as an A&R plan by the Planning Board in October of '23, demonstrates the compliance with both of those conditions. The boundary condition of condition number 34, the boundary correction for condition 34, is dealt with through a land swap between Mashpee Commons Limited Partnership and Mashpee Commons LLC, 2 LLC. They're specifically on the western edge of the property. The lots aren't identified on this plan, but if you refer back to the original use plan of the comprehensive permit, lots 1A, 1B, and 2 through 7 on this western edge of the lot encroached upon the Mashpee Commons land across the boundary line. So in order to correct that, we are shifting the boundary line so that the 40B land grows in that area to encompass the land, so it now belongs to the 40B, and there is an equal land swap on the eastern edge where the land where our maintenance facility currently sits becomes part of Mashpee Commons. It's a 1-for-1 swap. It's 4,250 square feet, 1-for-1. The second part of this is the subdivision of land, and this board may remember that I was here a couple months ago to talk about the process that we're going through now, which Mass Housing has asked us to separate into basically the east and the west with how we're doing things, which requires us to get into a subdivision of the land so that the financing agencies can have proper mortgage and collateral. So through the land swap, we end up with a subdivision of land on the east side. The east side of the project now encompasses lot 25, and the west side is now 16E, 16F, 16A, and 20, 23, 22, and 27. So it's a lot of little slivers of lots because of the swap that we've gone through. The condition in the comprehensive permit specifies that there's supposed to be language on the plan that the plan is endorsed by the ZBA. However, because this plan has already gone through an endorsement by the planning board, Peter Freeman, who unfortunately couldn't be here with me tonight, believes that it's not appropriate to have a second endorsement on a plan. So he believes that this board can simply accept and approve, if it so desires, the plan that has been endorsed by the planning board, as opposed to getting into a confusing process of adding a second endorsement onto the plan. Once we, oh, go ahead, Jonathan.
What does the bylaw say? That we have to?
I don't know. When we did this previously, because this is actually the second time that we've come before this board to do the boundary correction, it was a similar process with an A&R plan that was endorsed by the planning board, and I don't believe that we had to deal with anything from an endorsement perspective at the ZBA, but I don't recall.
I think I recall, I think we just approved.
Yeah, it's sort of one of the administrative acts that the ZBA has to do in order to demonstrate compliance with the comprehensive permit. So.
My only concern would be, is this going to prevent the required number of 40Bs? It doesn't seem like it.
It doesn't impact the number of units at all. It's actually really just the driveways of the lots on the western edge that are impacted by this. It wasn't impacting the locations of the buildings, the number of units, the number of affordable units. It doesn't get into any of that. It's really just cleaning up the lot lines so that all of the 40B land is owned by the 40B entity, and the Mashpee Commons land is an equal offset of what was transferred.
Okay.
I'm good with it.
By the way, who's sitting on this?
Three of us.
Us three and
And those two, because Mike already sat.
be Bob and Charlie.
Right, Bob and Charlie.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Well,
this is a cleanup to assist in the financing of the project.
Basically, that's what it's for. It started as a cleanup because in the original comprehensive permit process, we knew that there were lots that encroached upon the boundary lines, but it just so happens that it also cleans up for financing purposes, so they now have proper collateral.
One last question.
Yes.
You said there was a swap, and you mentioned lot, I think, 25 is going to Mashpee Commons?
No, Lot 25 becomes the entirety of the east side, which is subphase 1D, which is the 54 units that will be advancing first. And then the west side, which is all of those little lots, 22, 23, 16A, 16E, 27, and 16F, those all become the west side, which encompasses the 69 units. To get
Where's
us
27? I can't find it.
27 is this little piece right here.
It almost looks like a road.
Yeah, is it okay if
I see it.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah.
Boy, that's a big lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
Here.
there's a, there's a 677 square feet, 2,170, I mean, it's just little tiny lots that we had to do to have an equal land swap between the two entities.
Okay, and what goes to Mashpee Commons? Lot 14?
Lot 24, actually, which is on the,
I see it.
is it down here?
Got it.
Okay,
Got it. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Any other questions?
Nope.
Good.
All good.
Good.
Would someone like to make a motion to close public comment? Or
So moved.
I guess there's nobody here to answer
there's
the
nobody
questions,
here,
huh?
that's where
I believe that's the press.
yes.
Okay.
Do you have any questions? Okay, do I have
So moved.
so moved. All those in
Second.
favor?
Someone second?
Someone second, I thought. No?
Yeah, I'll second.
Okay.
So we need a motion.
Yep, got it.
Yep, would you like to make a
Yeah,
motion?
happy to. Make a motion relative to Mashpee Commons. In accordance with Section 4, Decisions and Conditions of the Comprehensive Permit, Conditions number 5 and number 34, the attached approval not required plan prepared by BSS Design dated September 11th, 2023, and endorsed by the Planning Board, on October 18th, 2023, addresses each respective condition and is hereby provided for the board to review for consistency and compliance with the terms of the comprehensive permit. Motion.
I'll second it.
Move to approve Mashpee Commons Limited Partnership, Jobs Whiting's Trust, and JWT Phase IB-D Venture LLC, new single-purpose entity that will be developing subphases 1B-1D, respectively request acceptance and approval of the accompanying plan related to next subphase of the project, and a roll call vote to be taken.
Now, John, you can. Okay, Bob, how do you vote?
Yes.
Charlie?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm yes.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
It's a fast evening for everyone tonight.
Yes.
Good night.
Yeah.
Sharon, I think you get to sign this, huh?
Yep.
I've
One
signed
of
stuff
these anyway.
before.
You gotta sign something.
I forgot that.
Yeah, I can help with that, with this.
Good to see
All
you.
right, there you go.
I know, I'm just kind of wondering why Sharon's name is all in small letters, if that's indicative of anything.
Well, it's capital S's.
If it is, I'll never tell.
Go to jail for that now.
Yeah, I'm old school. See, this has been,
Yeah.
it's been here 20 years. That's
Compared to
why.
mine.
Same with Billy, I
It's
would
funny how the minutia
Probably.
of what they have to do on that project, comes down to
Yeah,
something like.
is it
Let's just do
all
it.
beyond Cape Cod Cafe there?
It's up top.
It's up
You got
top.
ones that don't
They're
have
building
names, too.
something below in
Yeah.
the area
Charlie?
he was talking about. I guess it's their maintenance area. That's what he talked
I
about.
think so.
Oh, there's, on the other side of the parking lot, there's those, I don't know what the hell it is over there. There's the bike place, and then there's those, you know what I'm talking about, those, there's like, it's like saunas or outbuildings. And then there's a couple of large trailers there that I guess they store their stuff in, but it seems that
I guess,
they could just consolidate somehow, but I'm not gonna lose any sleep over it.
No.
That's temporary, it's experimental.
It is all
They're gonna
temporary.
do something
Here we go.
Do I finish it up?
pretty well.
I don't, yeah, I have never been in there, but I mean,
I'd like to make a motion to approve the ZBA public hearing schedule for 2025.
Second.
I have a question before
Oh.
we do that.
Oh,
This year, we had an issue where you did not get vacation. Has that been
Has that
addressed?
been included in this? It is. Okay.
Okay, I'll second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of August 28th, 2024.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Mike, would you like to make a motion?
Close.
what's that?
To close.
Close the public, close the
I
hearing.
make a motion to close, how's that?
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night,
Night,
good work.
Irene.
Sharon, excellent job.
Well done, Sharon.
Great job.
Thank you, thank you.